Hey everybody, welcome to Thrifty Budgeting. In today's video, we are going to explore 8 interesting ways to save money on a budget. Now make sure to watch the countdown until number 1 because it's absolutely one of the best creative examples I've ever heard to save hundreds of dollars. Now let's jump in. Counting down with tip number 8, avoid unnecessary fees. When I say avoid unnecessary fees, I'm talking about subscriptions. They can totally kill your budget during hard times. And the reason why is because it's easy to forget about unnecessary reoccurring services. I mean, you can easily lose hundreds of dollars each month if you aren't careful. You would be surprised at people I talked to who said, I didn't even realize that I was still being charged this. Now, while subscriptions are convenient, they can quickly drain your bank account if they go unnoticed. Just one low monthly subscription of $9.99 adds up to about $120 paid out. Now, that's a total waste if you didn't use the service. It would be the same thing as if you dropped $120 on the street. Are you going to just let it lie there? Or are you going to pick it up and put it back in your pocket? Go through your subscriptions and sort them. Keep the ones that you need and omit the ones that you don't. Now, many people have several subscriptions that they pay monthly for, yet they rarely use. And for example, gym memberships, as awesome as they are, if you don't use it and you're on a tight budget, eliminate it. Beauty products, online courses, audiobooks, these are just to name a few. Now, some examples that I'm getting ready to cover, you might hold up your hand and say, no way, I'm not ready to let go of these. No worries on that because we also have you covered on that too. And here we go. Cable box subscription fee can vary from $133 to $217. A satellite fee with Dish can vary as well, and that's usually $80 to $110 a month. Then there's direct TV, which is typically $65 to $155 monthly. Then there's streaming apps like Netflix, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime Video, Peacock, and HBO Max. And they all can range from $10 a month and higher. Music like SiriusXM can cost roughly $20+ a month. So if you have any of these subscription services, you might call and see about a cheaper package or just nix them all together. I mean, get rid of those costly premium channels or downsize your cable package. Read your statements and look for fees that are added on. You can save a lot of money by getting rid of your TV subscriptions and even your DVR. For example, you can start streaming free apps on devices like Roku. And if you aren't ready to nix your TV subscriptions, then you can check and see if they can bundle your internet, phone, and cable into one lower bill. You can even get on the phone and negotiate a lower price with a customer service representative. So let me ask you, if you were able to save an extra $300 by eliminating unnecessary subscriptions each month, what could you do? Now think about that. You could save up a load in just 1 year's time, $3,600 to be precise. You could pay off a credit card or even use it as a down payment on a car. So think about that the next time you start typing in your information for another paid subscription. Ask yourself, do I really need this? Am I going to use this? And most of all, get your calculator out and figure out how much that innocent looking subscription will cost you in 1 year's time. You just might be shocked. Canceling subscriptions can make a tight budget even more manageable and way less stressful. Now let's move on to tip number 7. Save a bundle on energy cost. Inflation is still on the rise and it seems our energy bills are just skyrocketing right along with it. I mean, with today's high prices, it's easy to feel the pressure. So it makes sense to find ways to save money also in our homes. So we're going to cover a few ideas that can save you a bundle in the long run. So regarding the energy in your home, the heating and cooling mechanisms will cost you the most, a whopping 45 to 50% of your bill each month. Other electricity consumers in your home, a water heater, guzzling a good 12% of your energy. The light in your home costs roughly 9 to 12% of your bill. Your refrigerator uses about 8% power. Washer and dryer eats up roughly 5% of your budget there. Electric oven is estimated to be about 3% of your energy. Dishwasher, TV, and cable boxes all use 2% of electricity each month. Now think about those dollar signs in your home and use big appliances wisely. Some good advice that our parents taught us is turn off those lights when you're not in that room. I can hear my mom saying that right now. know. It's just a little habit that can help you save money when you're budgeting, right? But have you heard that unplugging your appliances when they are not in use can save you money? And if so, did you ignore that advice because you thought it probably doesn't really save you on electric costs? And if that's you, then you'll be amazed at how a lot of electrical appliances continually draw power even when they're turned off. And that's because many of today's electrical devices and machines don't shut down completely even after they've been turned off. Now, how's that? Because they actually go into standby mode. And this leads to energy waste and it jacks up your electric bill. An example of standby mode is when your TV is turned off yet it's still plugged in. It's not actually shut off completely. It's still pulling electricity and costing you money. It's said that you could save about 10% each month when you unplug electronics and appliances when you aren't using them. Leaving things on, running, or forgetting to turn them off and even leaving them plugged in is a waste of energy, yet it's so easily avoidable. These items that waste your electricity even when you're not using them are referred to as vampire appliances since they drain your electricity and reward you with a high electric bill. So here are a few of the most common culprits that do this. Your television, DVR, and cable boxes, printers, toasters, coffee makers, hair dryers, microwaves, and computers. There are a few things that you can do to solve this energy issue. Now, the most obvious is what we've already talked about, is to unplug the appliances when they are not in use. But there's a really cool alternative to doing this, and that is to install a smart outlet, which automatically monitors your power usage. In addition, it will cut the electric supply to items that are on standby. I mean, it's like having your very own personal energy auditor, and that's super cool. Another thing that you can do is to tweak your thermostat when no one's at home and at night. Doing this can save you 1% for each degree the thermostat is lowered for an 8-hour period. If it's on standby mode or turned on and you're not using it, it's probably costing you your hard-earned money. Now, let's move on to tip number 6, do-it-yourself or DIY snacks. In today's convenient world, we're all looking for shortcuts. I mean, those easy pre-made food snack packs like cheese and crackers, trail mix, and sliced fruit that comes with that awesome dip, they do come in handy. However, as handy as they are a real jab to the wallet. I mean, cheese and cracker snack kits can really be appealing. However, be careful of what you're paying for. I mean, some of the trendy cheese and cracker snacks will cost you over $1 per serving. I mean, you'll get a lot more for your money, and it will last a lot longer if you just buy a box of crackers and a block of cheese separately. I mean, divide them up at home, toss them into a Ziploc bag or a plastic container, and then you will have ready-made snacks just for pennies that will last you weeks rather than just one sitting. Now, trail mix is another snack that, a lot of people run to the store and buy, but they're buying it for a lot higher price than they can make it. I mean, if you make trail mix yourself, you can also personalize it to your liking at just a fraction of the price. And the best part of it all, it's going to last you longer. And the great part about DIY trail mix is that you can put the exact ingredients in it that you want. I mean, if you don't like raisins, leave them out and you won't have to waste that money. If you prefer a dried fruit mix with just a few of the sunflower seeds, then it's yours for the making for just pennies. Create your own personalized trail mix and pocket those extra savings. Sliced and diced fruit is a hit nearly at all the stores these days as well. And while already cut fresh fruit is great, they're charging you a pretty penny just to cut it for you. But you can avoid spending that extra cash by just doing it yourself. If you've noticed, the pre-cut fruit at the store is not always in the best condition either. I mean, fruit goes bad fast. This is where you can get the most bang for your buck. Purchase fresh fruit that you like. When you get home, wash off your fruit, cut it, slice it, dice it how you like. Pack the fruit with your favorite dip, and you're set for the day. I mean, you can put it in your kids' lunch for school, or take them to work, or even on a road trip. And now that we have snacks out of the way, let's focus on tip number 5, extended warranties. There are warranties, and then there are extended warranties. Now, warranty is just a written promise from a company like insurance promising to repair or replace the product if necessary within a specific time frame. I mean, it's considered a perk, right? Now, an extended warranty is even more insurance for an item that goes beyond the original warranty. Extended warranties are an extra that's sold separately, meaning you're going to have to pay for it. You can purchase an extended warranty on nearly anything these days. And although they may sound like a blessing in disguise, it can come with a hefty price tag, and it may not cover everything that can go wrong. I mean, let's be real. Extended warranties aren't sold to customers because companies want to do you a favor. It's because they're making money selling them. Sure, extended warranties sound enticing, but can you ever recall having to actually use one? Do you even know anybody that's ever used one? And even if you had an extended warranty on an item that might have been covered, you may have totally forgotten that you purchased it. Now, something to keep in mind too is extended warranties typically cover manufacturer defects. If the problem is due to usual error, normal wear and tear, or an external factor, it's likely not going to be covered by the warranty. So it's really worth asking a lot of questions and reading that fine print before investing. Also, consider this. If most people really had to use their extended warranties, companies would lose thousands of dollars and they wouldn't be pushing them so much. So be careful of any extended warranty and see exactly what it covers before you make the decision to pay for one. Okay, we're on a roll. Let's move on to tip number 4, invest in a balance transfer. Have you ever received one of those balance transfer offers in the mail for a credit card? They run specials from time to time, and one of those specials is a balance transfer. Now, many credit cards charge interest rates, between 13.99% and 26.99% a year. Now, if you have just $10,000 of debt on your card, that can add up to about $2,000 of interest in 1 year's time. Now, these percentages can add up and keep you further away from your goal of ever paying off your card. To save money, you should really think about transferring some of your higher interest rate cards over to one that's offering a special balance transfer. Now, these usually offer a 0% interest rate for 12 to 18 months. Now, that varies, but that is what you're looking for, is the 0% interest rate. Now, keep in mind that there will be a one-time transfer fee, but after that, that's it. Now, something to keep in mind is you have to remember to pay your credit card on time for the 0% transfer balance. So that means you can't have any missed or late payments. So as long as you can abide by that, then I promise you'll be smooth selling with 0% interest for a year or longer. So rather than losing $2,000 a year, you can actually save $2,000 a year and pocket it, or put it on your card and pay it off even faster. And it's a great feeling to be able to pay off a credit card. Now, once you get that card paid off, try the same balance transfer tactic on all your other credit cards and become debt-free a lot faster. Now, let's move on to tip number 3, maintain your home. When I was young, my mom was very diligent about us kids not standing at the refrigerator and holding the door open. She would yell out, "Let's not turn our fridge into a cash-eating monster, okay?" I mean, she knew it costs money to keep that fridge running. So other things to keep in mind when maintaining your home, like fixing areas in your house that could be leaking air. Think of things like air seeping out of windows or doors. Now, you can find air leaks really easy with the incense stick. I mean, simply light the incense stick and move it around the edges of the typical air leak areas. When the smoke wavers, or if it's blown or sucked, then you know there's a draft, but you can patch that with weather stripping or plastic. A well-insulated home is an energy-efficient home. Another handy tip is for the hot summer months. When the sun is blazing down, close all your blinds or shades and pull closed your blackout curtains. Trust me, those blackout curtains are really helpful too. Now, by doing this, it will create a cave-like effect and keep your home really cool during the hot months. Now, a neat tip for the winter is to put bubble wrap over your windows and glass sliding doors. This creates an insulated effect, one that I have found to have really helped a great deal. No lie, I can already feel the savings piling up here, can't you? Now, let's move on to tip number 2. Use appliances when it's cheaper. If you're on a tight budget, it would be a great idea to run certain appliances at certain times. And the reason is there are times during the day when electricity consumption is high, which is known as peak hours. And those are the hours you want to avoid. It varies by season and region. Now, peak hours are when electricity demand is at its absolute highest. That means you're paying the highest amount per kilowatt hour. Now, during the summer months, peak hours are generally from 10 in the morning to 8 o'clock at night. During the winter months, peak hours are typically 7 in the morning to 11 in the morning, then again from 5 in the evening to 9 o'clock at night. Therefore, a great way to save some cash is to avoid those rate hikes and run your large appliances when the demand is not so high. Also, rates are cheaper on the weekends, so making use of those time frames can really save you a bundle and really keep your budget intact. Now, let's let's move on to the interesting money tip that I was talking about at the beginning of the video. Tip number 1, thrifty food court. This is a tip that totally blew me away. I think it's ingenious and can be used for inspiration on figuring out creative ways for saving money. And if this story doesn't inspire you to do that, I don't know what will. So a man in California, Dylan, said his coworker claimed to have spent $1,500 a month on eating out. I mean, that in itself will keep most people in debt. Now, Dylan listened to his coworker closely and was able to break the curse. So his solution was to meal plan on a budget. In doing this, he was able to pay off his student loan in 7 years. Dylan accomplished this by eating at Six Flags Magic Mountain every day for 7 years. I know it sounds crazy, but just listen what he was able to accomplish here. Dylan was working as an intern in an office just minutes away from the park, and he purchased a $150 unlimited annual pass and was able to eat multiple meals at the park every day. The theme park had a premium season dining pass, and this covered his lunch and dinner. So the pass also included a snack and unlimited fountain drinks, as well as parking. Can anyone say perks? During this first year, Dylan never went to the grocery store. Never. And as the making of this video, groceries average around $412 for a single person per month. Now that's $13 a day just to eat. For $150 a year, the theme park served Dylan both of his meals, and by doing the math, he thinks his meals averaged out to 21 cents per meal. His savings added up, and not only did he pay off his student loan, he also got married and bought a house. So outside of the box ideas like this can really save you a ton. Now we understand that not everyone can eat at a theme park every day, but it can get you thinking outside the box. And there you are, 8 tips to saving money on a budget. Try a few and see how much you can save over the next month. And please let us know in the comments if you have any helpful budgeting tips. And if you're not already, we would love for you to become a part of our Thrifty budgeting family. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our Thrifty budgeting videos. Let's stay connected, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.